This is 6.1, Properties of Exponents, Part 2. If I have a product of powers property, it says to multiply powers with the same base, add their exponents. So if I have some base a, some number a raised to the m power times a to the nth power, I will add the exponents together because the base is the same. So I have a to the m plus n. If I were to do this with numbers instead of letters, I could have 3 squared times 3 to the 6th, and that would be 3 to the 2 plus 6th power, which is 3 to the 8th. If I were to expand this, I would have 3 times 3, and then I'd have times, and then 6 more 3's. So I would count up how many 3's is that, and that would be 8. The quotient of powers property says to divide powers with the same base, subtract the exponents. So a to the m over a to the n equals a to the m minus n. To show with numbers, 3 to the 12th divided by 3 to the 8th power would be 3 to the power of 12 minus 8, which is 3 to the 4th. The power of a power property. To find a power of a power, multiply the exponents. This would be a to the m, and all of that raised to the nth power. So a to the m times n. If I had 3 to the 6th, all of which is raised to the 2nd power, I could have 3 to the 6th, so that'd be 6 3's, and then I'd have that twice, which is another 6 3's, which is 12. So that's why you multiply. If you write it out, expanded form, 3 times 3 times 3 all the way at 6 times, and then you do that again. Now we're going to simplify, and we will write the answer with a positive exponent. So, 4 to the 3rd times 4 squared, I will add the exponents together, and so it would be 4 to the 5th. 12 to the 0 power times 12 to the negative 3, I can add them together, which would be the power, the exponent would be 0 plus negative 3, which is negative 3. So my answer would be 1 over 12 to the 3rd. It just said simplify, not to find an answer, a number answer or to evaluate. So this is my answer. X to the 6th power over x to the 3rd, I'm going to subtract my exponents and get x to the 3rd power. If I have x squared times x to the negative 3rd over x to the 4th power, I'm going to simplify this numerator first, then deal with the denominator. So this would be x to the 2 plus negative 3 over x to the 4th, which would be x to the negative 1 over x to the 4th, which would be x to the negative 1 minus 4 is x to the negative 5th, and that's a negative exponent, so I rewrite with a positive exponent here. This is not the only way to go through this one. I could move my x to the negative 3, move that to the denominator first, and then I could simplify the denominator and then deal with this x squared. There's a couple different ways you can do that. Now, if I have x to the 6th, all of which is to the 4th power, this is where I multiply exponents. So I have x to the 6th times 4, which is x to the 24th power. If I have a 3 times x squared over x to the 4th times x to the 3rd, I chose to simplify the denominator first. So that would be 3x to the negative 2 over x to the 7th. Now this negative 2 exponent is only on the x. It is not referring to this 3 as well. So only this x to the negative 2 will move to the bottom, to the denominator. So that leaves 3 on top, 3, which is 3 over x to the 7th times x squared. Now I can simplify the denominator and get 3 times x to the 9th. And for this last one, if I have x to the 9th, all of which is squared, over x to the 6th, I will multiply my exponents first, and then simplify and get x to the 18 minus 6 over x to the, which is x to the 12th.